Everyone, today I'm going to be making a hand cream. It could be used on any part of your body, but I'm making this specifically for my hands, so I'm only making a small batch. Lately my hands have been dry and cracked from using like soaps and things to clean the house, so I've been needing this for a while and I decided to make a video. This is the first ingredient that I'm using is cocoa butter. It's organic, unrefined virgin cocoa butter, so it's a little bit hard. Its consistency is kind of like it's hard to explain, but it's pretty solid, so it needs to be melted. So what I'm doing is putting it in a glass bowl and on top of water that was just boiled. I'm not boiling the water because I don't want to really overheat this or break down any of its properties. So this is hot water on a double boiler, and I'm going to cover this so that it traps the heat in. When this is melted, almost fully melted, then I will be adding my shea butter. This is unrefined shea butter that I bought on Amazon. I also got the cocoa butter on Amazon, and this is pretty soft. This is a pretty soft consistency, so it doesn't have to be melted much, and sometimes you don't have to melt it at all. Sometimes I just start whipping it and I don't even need to melt it down. The carrier oils that I will be using is, the first one is organic jojoba oil, which I also got on Amazon. You can also find these oils in TJ Maxx, and they're pretty cheap if you're lucky, but usually if you go to a health food store or Whole Foods, you'll probably get them at just regular price. So I like to get them on Amazon, or if I find them in a Marshall's or TJ Maxx, then I'll pick them up. The next one is grapeseed oil, and I also got this on Amazon. So I would say I'll be using about a fourth of a cup of grapeseed oil and a few tablespoons of jojoba oil, but that'll be later on. I'm going to be using this handheld blender to mix it all together, and a spatula. So what I'm going to do now is, you can see this cocoa butter is already melting, and that's exactly what I want. I don't want to overheat it. I just want it to delicately melt. I don't want to burn it or anything like that. So when this is nice and melted and liquidy, I'm going to add my shea butter in, and then I'm going to start to whip it. Okay, so it's been about, I would say, 5 minutes, and it's already melting pretty well. I just added the shea butter. I'm adding only 2 tablespoons of shea butter, and I did raise the heat. I did put on the heat again because the cocoa butter was taking a little bit of time, and I've noticed that if the cocoa butter is not fully melted through and you start to blend it, then there will be little chunks of it in your cream, so you don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that your cocoa butter is melted all the way through. And so my shea butter is starting to melt. Okay, I'm going to give this about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to add my carrier oils. Okay, so it's actually been only about 2 minutes, and this is completely melted already. So I'm going to take my bowl out, and I'm going to add my oils. Okay, I'm going to be adding my grapeseed oil first. Now be very careful with this melted butter here because it could be very hot. So this is going to be around a quarter of a cup of grapeseed oil. I might add more. I'm going to see how the consistency comes out. So just add that, and then a few tablespoons of the jojoba oil. So now I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of jojoba oil, and I'm going to give this a mix just to incorporate everything before I put it into the freezer. Okay, so it's ready to go in the freezer. Just make sure that your mixture in your bowl is not too hot before you place it into the freezer. And this will go in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. I just want it to harden up a little bit so that I could whip it into a nice butter. So I'll be back after I do that. Okay, so after being in the freezer for about 15 minutes, this is the consistency of my mixture. Some solid, some liquid. So I'm just going to start to blend it. There's going to be some on the side that's stuck to the bowl, and it's kind of hard to get off. So I'm going to stop this and just scrape it off. But as you can see, the consistency is really nice and creamy already. So you just want to scrape down the sides here. It's always good to keep your hands and your arms moisturized because they age as well. They're always in the sun. Even when you're driving, your hands are exposed to UV rays, and it's not like you wear gloves all day. So a lot of us forget to put sunscreen on our hands, so you can't neglect your hands. And you have to keep them moisturized. What I do is I put this on my hands and arms at night before I go to sleep. When I wake up, my hands are just so soft and smooth. I really love treating my skin to these oils and butters. So I'm going to whip this, I would say for about 5 minutes. And I'll be right back to show you what the finished product looks like. So I'm going to whip this for about 5 more minutes. So I just want to show you the consistency. It kind of looks like whipped butter, but it was getting a little hard. So what I did was I added about 2 more tablespoons of grapeseed oil. And don't worry, it blends well. It will not separate. So what I'm going to do is, I've been whipping this for about 2 minutes now. I'm going to whip it for another 3 to blend all the oil in and see what the consistency is. So I'm keeping this on a low speed. So this is the finished product, and I'm very happy with the consistency. Just show you, it's very smooth and just melts right in my hand. I mean, just completely disappears, and that's exactly what I was looking for. You can use as much oil or as little oil as you want, but this is what I was looking for, because I find that the more oil you use, the more absorbent the product is, and also the smoother your skin will be. So I made this for someone he works outdoors, and he had very calloused feet, and he actually used this on his feet, and he was amazed at what it did for his feet. He didn't have to go back to the doctor, the foot doctor anymore, to get his feet scraped. So this is just an amazing product. And like I said, if you have very dry skin, then I would suggest using as much oil as this recipe called for. And if you don't want all the oil, then you don't have to put that much. Just cut back a little. So I'm putting this in a plastic container. I also wouldn't suggest that you use plastic, but that's what I have right now. I don't have any more glass containers on hand, but and I would also suggest a darker colored, probably like a brown container, something that blocks out the light, or just keep it in a dark place, like in a cabinet or something. But and also when you go to take your cream out of its container, make sure that your hands are clean and you don't have any water on your hands. Keep your container as bacteria free as possible. That's why I made a small batch, because I like to use it up right away. It's also great for cuticles. If you have dry cuticles, it's amazing. Just rub it around your cuticles and you'll see you'll wake up the next morning with no dry skin around your cuticles. And so I hope you like this recipe, and I hope you try it, and let me know in the comments section if you tried it and if you like it. You can look up all of these ingredients that I've used and see just how good they are for your skin. And just really take care of your skin with sunscreen, stay out of the sun, and always moisturize. And wash your face before you go to sleep. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.